sorry about that. My mother came in with snacks that I did not want, and the battery died on this camera. Almost simultaneously. Isn't that weird? Yes. Anyway, moving on. Where was I? Yeah. So the fact that blocks 1 and 9 weren't like full, like I don't think anyone was in them, to be honest, was just really surprising because I expected it to be packed. I was at closing night last year, 2016, and it was pretty packed. And opening night this year was packed, and you just expect it to be like pretty packed on these big nights, and it wasn't. And I know it's quite hypocritical to say that blocks 1 and 9 should be filled, because heck knows I wouldn't want to sit in those blocks. I don't think I even went 1-9 in any random show this year. Never mind closing night, but still. That was pretty rubbish. I was a bit upset about that. But, the fact is, I was sat on the front row of block 5, the premium block, and the 2 seats to my left were empty. Couldn't believe that. How the heck? Maybe like 2 people just couldn't get to it or something. Surely they would have been booked. Surely. Or, you know, maybe they heard that it was me sat there and they were considering the ears. I am going to do something about the whooping for next year, definitely. Yeah. As in, I'm going to tone it down. I've decided that, as an aside, right? Like, whoop a few of the Chaprasov's jumps and whoop at the end, but other than that, like, shut up and let people enjoy the show. Probably that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, so the opening sequence, well, it was a bit like a blur. It was like a literal dream because of my state of mind and just everything, and probably like the whole sentimentality clouding it, the fact it was the last show. One skater did fall, I'm pretty sure, when the lads were doing all the jumps, which I was like, oh, I felt really sorry for him. It was well, I'm not going to tell you it was, but well, put it this way, it was a Russian pair skater. So it narrows it down quite a bit, doesn't it? Anyway, well, I think so it was. Well, yeah, who even cares? I don't, because they still skated an amazing show. Yeah, in the wonderful solos, Darian Evgeny, Louise Walden-Edwards and Owen Edwards, they were amazing, and the whole Touch It and Tangle thing. In the blue stick scene, I was so sad to see that swirl happening for the final time ever. It was like, no, I love that bit. But, well, all good things come to an end, as they say. And they'll probably have a swirl in next year, right? The whole full skater turn. They do that, don't they? The black swan scene, obviously, I was just doing my usual, watching to see if Dennis smiled at Evgeny. I can't even remember. I don't think he did, because I do have a vague memory of thinking, oh, very good, you managed to hold it together. One of the few times he did. Anyway, Act 1 finale, everyone was great. In the Act 2 opening scene, like, Dennis is practically literally on fire. Well, he's not obviously on fire, but what I mean is he's the skater that you see in the dark go across the ice with, I don't know, what is it, carrying some kind of wire? I'm not sure. But he goes skates across, and then, you know, the fire comes in from the left and the right. Yeah, for the Artem and Peter's jump over. So that was all fab. Can I just say one thing, right, about, in the white scene, I think I've gone on about this before, but when James Horrocks spins round, I usually used to go on like, oh, I just love the way he spins and his arm comes up like this and it's all like so poetic. Well, I do, but something I was noticing in quite a few of the last shows towards the end was that his spin would just be like, he'd be spinning, and instead of the arm kind of poetically coming down, like curving, it would just kind of go straight up and come down. And like, that's not as interesting as, say, Felipe Montoya when he does, as when his arm goes up and like comes down, it kind of curves. I prefer it when it curves. Is that even a thing? Skater people, you should know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about. I just know what it looks like. In the funky routine, this was funny. In the funky golden black routine, when Olga is near the barrier, block 5, doing all that, you know. I need 2 arms really, but one's holding the camera. She said thank you for the card in the show, in the actual show. That was so funny. And I could hear people like saying like around me, thank you for the card, like what? And it was just like, okay, I didn't ask her to say that in the show, but... And I think I did say, oh, you're welcome, before she skated off, and it's just like, that was nice of her. In the Spanish routine, right, pretty sure this was the last show. Well, it might have been the one before last. Maybe the penultimate. Well, two of the guys in the Spanish routine did what? When they jumped together, bump thighs very suggestively, I would say. That's what it looked like. I'm not going to obviously say who it was, but it was like, oh, okay, hello, please remember it's a family show. The finale was the actual best, of course. I cheered my little heart out, and I shook Derry's hand, and I think she said hi. I think she said hi Gemma or bye Gemma. I think she said my name, sounded like it. Oscar high-fived me, and then he like held my hand for a minute and said, thank you for the card, like really sincerely, and it was just like, oh, what a gent. Him and his, skating partner, or like, well, we all know, you know, Katie Stainsby, oh, they're the best. I loved her in the show last year, really miss seeing Katie Stainsby skating this year, but then after the show began the long wait for the Chaprasov to come out. Only because I wanted to give him his present and cards. Seriously, okay? All the other cast members had their card, and I was just like, I just wanted him to have it. I was so tired and done, I really was. It took till 10 to 10 for him to come out, but bless his cotton socks, he did come out in the end. But I mean, one of these young, you know, fangirl, skater girls, I don't know, what do you even call all these attractive girls running around who love Dennis? I don't know. Well, you know what I mean. She was like, Dennis has just come out and said there's champagne in the dressing room, and he's gone back in, and I'm like, that does not surprise me. I know we're not supposed to stereotype people, but I'm pretty sure most Russians love their alcohol. And it's closing night, and he'll be wanting to party. So I wasn't even thinking he would come out, but he did. Thank you. Still enjoying himself, if you know what I mean. But yeah, he came out, so fans could see him, y'all, and stuff. And I just said, congratulations, gave him his present, and I was like, I am not taking up his time, okay? I'm not mucking